This is what happens when you record in an apartment. And anyway, well, welcome back to Do You Watch Anime? I'm your host, Adam Corky, and today my mic is way higher than it's supposed to. There we go. And today I'm joined with, you know what? I'm going to move the mic because it is completely in front of your fucking face.
I didn't know if it was supposed to be or not.
No, I'm going to move it.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good. I can actually, see you.
Sound-wise, still good?
Yeah, sound-wise fine.
Cool.
Yeah, today I'm joined with Jack AKA Torontopeterquill.
That's me.
That's you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I was trying to think of something funny, but I don't got anything.
Yeah. So, Jack, do you watch anime?
Short answer, yes, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very mild anime consumer.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite anime? There you go.
Naruto.
Naruto?
Yeah. Always has been.
So, why is it your favorite?
Just I guess because I grew up with it, and the characters were always enjoyable, and I like their outfits and
just their outfits,
their personalities. Like I said, no matter what I grow apart from, and Kakashi will still be a badass motherfucker. I just love the way he looks and his character and his design. So no matter what my interests change and stuff, I will always think he's one of the coolest characters ever created.
No, it's just so I haven't watched a whole lot of Naruto.
So I've heard.
I respect it, but it's a lot to get into because I didn't grow up with it. And again, it's the same thing with what I said with Moon is Inuyasha used to piss me off because it was there instead of Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
And so was Naruto. And I was like, why is this crap on when Dragon Ball could be on? So, if I don't hate Naruto.
Yep.
But there is a lot of Naruto hate.
Yes.
If you were to talk to a person who hates Naruto, what would you say to them to pitch to them that it's a good series and stuff like that?
That's a tough one. I would probably try and get them to just tone him out, even though he's the main character, because I feel like a lot of the hate is towards him and his personality, and just give it another go, because there's a lot of great side characters, whether they're in 200 episodes, whether they're in 20 episodes, they're just a lot more enjoyable once you get into it. And whether you read the manga or not, or just watch the show, there's definitely a lot of great character arcs in there that you wouldn't be used to if you just decide you hate it without giving it much of a chance.
Yeah, that's a good, good point. I'm going to have a guest on later in the not in the podcast, later in the year or month. I don't know. Who knows? Honestly, she's very busy. Who also loves Naruto, and I'm going to ask her the same thing because it's very interesting to when, I'm pretty sure it's her favorite. I'm not sure. That's
definitely up there if it's not.
And I'm going to ask her the same thing because it's really interesting hearing someone's perspective of defending their favorite show. And yeah, it's interesting. Any others that you grew up with and loved?
I mean, does Pokemon count?
Yeah.
Okay, I love Pokemon.
I hate that shit where it's just hey, does this count? Was it made in Japan?
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's some people who said Naruto didn't count either.
My cat is just screaming in the background.
There's some people who said Naruto didn't count when I used to talk. There was a whole
fuck?
group.
That is the most anime show. That's like being One Piece, not anime.
There was a whole thing when I was in high school, and basically if there was an American version of it, they didn't accept it. They just didn't. You don't know anime. They didn't talk to you. That's how that's probably what turned me off of it for so long. Besides the stuff I grew up with, because they were so hardcore in high school with all the things I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And then I know of them now, Full Metal Alchemist and Black Butler and stuff, and things like that, which are
They were saying Black. Oh my god.
Black Butler, things like that. They were hardcore into, and cool, but not really my thing, and
Yeah.
here I am being judged because I like Naruto. Like,
Yeah. Like what?
yeah, like I used to like get up early like in elementary school to watch it in mornings, and then like stay up late on weekends for whatever reruns were playing.
Yeah.
And it was always like a weird period where it was a lot of filler stuff, which is very common with animes.
Yeah.
But you'd always get that 1 week or two where there'd be that special episode that you gotta watch.
that one episode that,
one
matters. That one episode with
Yeah.
story. Oh god, fucking Dragon Ball was the same way.
Yeah.
It was the same
And
shit.
see, I have some memories of watching Dragon Ball and like Sailor Moon and things
Yeah.
like that when they were on channels like people our age watch, like YTV and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I couldn't tell you, like I can name you some characters, but I couldn't tell you anything about an episode.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I have some memories of watching it.
Yeah, that was me before I rewatched Sailor Moon. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't fucking remember it. I remember watching it like all the time, but I don't remember a goddamn thing.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because it was on before or after something else I was watching,
Yeah.
but I definitely watched it here and there.
Yeah, fuck. So growing up, it was just Naruto.
It was just Naruto, and again, there was like Pokemon again. I had
Yeah.
like huge craze when everyone else did, and then I died off from it for a bit, and then around like 2007, 8-ish, I kind of like hardcore back into it again, and that was like my peak Naruto phase too. Was back then.
Jesus.
Like elementary school, like writing assignments, I was writing like Naruto fanfics and stuff like that.
You're fucking right. Jesus Christ.
It wasn't just like Naruto, Star Wars too, but like Naruto was a big one. It actually like phased out. It went from like Star Wars for like a couple months, and then here's your new journal, Naruto. And I was like trying to redo like the first probably like 10 episodes of the show and like the manga, because I was like also using like the Shonen Jump panels and stuff too, like not the actual collected
Yeah.
mangas, but the Shonen Jump ones.
Yep.
Like for reference and everything, and like yeah, it was just like me trying to add stuff to it. It's pretty cringe when I look back on it now, but it was like it was a pretty good time.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say like it's all fucking cringe.
Yeah, and it was like before high school, it was a very small margin of people who were into that kind of stuff. So it was like, oh, there was one guy who brought in the Shonen Jumps to class, so I got to see like the drawings and stuff in a different way, and it was like because his brother was into it or something, for example, and his brother was a few years older than us. But
Yeah.
other than that, no one really knew what anyone was talking about.
Yep.
And nowadays, like kids are into it, and it's crazy, and it's like more widely accepted, which is awesome. But like, it's just how different it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's fucking
great to see. It's just crazy how times have changed with things like that.
Yeah, I was like, I got beat up for this
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Like,
We weren't allowed to like
No.
this stuff. You were a loser and you were picked on, and now
Yeah.
it's like cool. And it's weird if you're not into one
yeah,
of these things.
it's so strange.
It's
like
very
the
weird.
fucking polar opposite.
yeah, complete
It's-
opposite.
So I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
But it's just like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And like you can have all these different hobbies and interests now, and less people are gonna judge you because chances are they're into the same thing or
Yep.
like something else even weirder or more exciting. Or
Are you a furry? No, I'm kidding.
no, I'm not. That I can admit to. I am not.
asking you if you're a furry. Jesus.
I know very few people who actually are.
I know
There's a
if-
couple cosplayers I've like seen online who like I'm a fan of their other stuff, so I like appreciate the furry stuff
Yeah.
and the work put into it. There was one year at a convention I saw a Mewtwo that was kind of like a furry.
Oh yeah.
It was very cool just because it was like fuzzy and like
Yeah.
it was big and a huge build and everything,
Yeah.
but like
Those
not really
suits
my
cost
thing.
so much fucking money.
Yeah.
I have so much respect.
Yeah.
Like I joke, but my God.
Yeah.
I have the utmost respect for those people. Like
Well, not only just like they got the fans in them, they
Yep.
put in all this like craftsmanship to it, and they spend all kinds of money on it, and it's like I feel like people have been like turned off from that community just because like there was a whole like CSI episode that people
Yeah.
bring up, and like all kinds of other stuff. Like I think it was on like 1,000 Ways to Die and all these like random shows, and it's like that is a small percentage who like try and
yeah.
make it their whole life that they're these furry creatures, but
Yeah.
like there's also people who do it like once every 6 months, and it's like they're totally normal outside of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I definitely appreciate the craft of it. It's just not something for me.
Yeah.
Don't start barking like a dog in the middle of the street or go into school dressed like that and start barking at your teacher or eating your classmates' homework or something. But like,
Yeah, that's a bit.
That's a bit much, right?
That's just a bit much.
just a bit much.
Just a bit. Like, yeah, the role playing outside of a con, I don't understand. I don't like that's
Yeah.
not
Whose
my
dog shit on my lawn? Oh, it was just Tommy. It's okay. Like,
Yeah.
just like,
Don't-
what are you doing?
Yeah, just like yeah,
Yeah.
let's just you're not an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
Behave yourself.
yeah. Jesus Christ. Back to anime.
Yeah. Sit, boo boo, sit, and good dog.
We recently made you watch a little bit of Hell's Paradise.
Yes.
How did you like that?
That's another one where the character design was really nice. The art
Mm-hmm.
style was cool. That theme song is pretty catchy.
Fucking dope.
And it's a great concept too. Like, it's definitely just like action packed, and like there's the eternal struggle with like the main character and everything too. That is, I feel like, is like a trope in a lot of animes, but like I don't know, there was something that resonated me with this one because I actually was enjoying it and like watched more than one episode. You can
Yeah.
confirm that. Like,
Yep.
I was into it, and like it's definitely cool. And like I've looked at costumes online, not that I've bought anything, but like I've just looked out of curiosity, and
Yeah.
like there's cool statues and stuff too. And yeah, no, it's definitely like a great concept. I enjoyed it. I didn't really know what to expect when you guys
Yeah.
first told me about it, but it definitely played out well.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
Ninja Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Ninja Suicide Squad, which
Yeah.
again is a great concept when executed properly,
Yeah. It's,
unlike the movies.
hey.
Hey, I mean, the second
Yeah,
one
I
was a
gonna
huge
say, I was
improvement.
gonna
Yeah,
say.
it gave us a lot of good characters.
Yeah.
And there was supposed to be a pretty sweet video game at one point, but I think it got canceled, or is it super delayed?
I think it's super delayed.
Yeah,
I think
I think it's still in production
yeah.
or something, but there was something with it.
Yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
God. Fuck.
It's definitely got potential.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Good God.
Yeah, that's media for you.
So, do you even bother with Boruto now that it's
I honestly, I've seen like a little bit here and there, and I've like looked at like Funko Pops and random stuff, and I'm just kind of like, who is this? Or like from
Yeah.
the name, I'm like, oh, that's somebody's kid probably from the original anime. I haven't given it a real chance, and that might be my own fault, but I'm also kind of like in the middle of trying to do a rewatch of the original one and ship it in. And obviously there was a ton of movies and stuff too, so I feel like I need to like either track down a non-filler list, even though some of the filler lists were some of my like filler episodes were some of my favorites, or just like crack something down to like get through it again, so then I can actually start something new.
Yeah, Jesus.
Because there's so much to it.
Well, yeah, it's
And
like,
it's like what, 20 years now?
yeah.
I think is what we're celebrating, or maybe
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
that's
it's
why
20,
we're getting
yeah.
new episodes. Yeah, and it is what considered one of the big three.
It is
It's
one of the big
One
three.
Piece, that, and is
And
it
Bleach,
Bleach?
yeah.
So that's like very cool, but like I think I need to give it another go just to refresh my mind and stuff. Because like I'll be like, oh, this character and like this character, I'll like recognize a costume at a convention, or like there'll be some cool toy or something. I like had like a bunch of Naruto action figures in my cart on this website, and like they were sitting there for like days, and I'm like, okay, relax. Just because you started watching the show again, you don't need to spend $200 on these toys.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, I think if I got to get through the original stuff again, make sure it's not just like random hype,
Yeah.
and see if I'm ready to enjoy like a sequel. Because I'm very picky with some of that spin-off kind of stuff in
Yeah.
all forms of like entertainment when they decide to push it forward, because it can either be really good or it can be really bad. I don't think it would ruin the original for me, which is something I'm
No,
not really
that's-
afraid of, but
yeah.
it would be like, why am I watching this? Like,
Yeah,
I felt
why
like
is
this
this a
doesn't
thing?
need to be a thing. Exactly. And I think that's where I felt when it first came out. But I mean, there is a following for it, so
Yeah.
there must be something worthwhile about it.
I mean, it's like 75% filler right now.
Of course.
So, of course.
Yeah,
Because of course.
of course.
Oh, God. See, that's one of the things that that's not stopped me from watching, but like I couldn't get like right into it because it's just so much. It's like like what, 600 episodes altogether?
Yeah, when you put it all together, it's somewhere around there. And it's like, a lot of people love Sasuke, key character.
I fucking hate him. I'm sorry. Cancel me. I fucking hate that fucking
he's
emo-looking motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a jerk. But I like that about him. His like moody angst when he's like young and everything. And there's like a period where he goes off, and it's like, it's got to be like a season or two of the original where like you don't see him, and then he comes back for like a big thing.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering it correctly, it's been a long time.
It's okay.
But like there was a huge period where he came back and him and Naruto fight. Spoiler alert.
Whoa.
And it's awesome. It's awesome, but like there's a whole period where he's off, and it's like strange because it started with him and he was right there, and they're Team 7 and the 4 of them and stuff, and then he Yeah.
I think it's because I didn't grow up with it that like I see that he's like, my family's dead. I'm gonna be an angry, and like I would be like that too if my family was like killed off. Like I get it, but don't be a dick.
Yeah, and it's like, again, spoiler alert. It took like,
it's 20 years old.
Yeah,
We're
good
fine.
point. It took. Well, this is going into the sequel, but it took like probably 400 episodes or so for him to actually kill his brother, who he like exacted revenge on, like in the first like season or two of the original. And it's like, wow, that was like a long time to wait for that. Like I get it, he's your brother, but like, damn. Especially when they're constantly talking about how he killed his own family, and except for his younger brother, and there's this whole build up, and it was way longer than it needed to be. It was done nice when the time came, but yeah, I think that was like kind of like drawn out more, but that's anime, right?
Yep.
You got to draw it out, and that's part of what it is, right? Breaking down the manga to turn into these episodes and whatnot. So yeah,
and that's kind of, again, watching older series back, it's kind of it's difficult. I've touched on this, like I think almost every fucking episode, because like it is difficult, and it's hard for people getting back into anime to start it again, because it's a you gotta commit. You gotta be like, okay, I'm watching this. Like I committed to Sailor Moon. Like I committed to Inuyasha, and that's like, and
it's all commitment based.
It's all, especially like I said, the older series. Like nowadays, you get 12 episodes, and you're like, oh, that's it. 12 episodes, you're done. You can do that in like a weekend, like easy. Like, yeah, that's why I never recommend older series right away. So, like, someone comes to me and it's like, oh, I'm new to anime, blah, blah, blah. What do you recommend? I go, not Naruto, Bleach, don't start One Piece. Please, don't start One Piece yet. I won't push away.
Yeah, don't push away.
I'm not that kind of guy. But, yeah, it's like,
Well, it's like, when I started rewatching Naruto like a month or so ago, I didn't realize some of the episodes have, like, your credits start and whatever, and then like there's like almost like maybe like 30 seconds of like some footage, and it's like, oh, this wasn't touched on in the next episode, but it's like, am I missing stuff? Like, do I have to actually watch all the credits? And it's like, wow, imagine doing that for like 400 episodes. Like,
God.
Yeah.
Or like when I'm binging a show, and now Crunchyroll has it. Thankfully, I think they just updated it, but you can skip stuff, like skip the intro. And
okay.
That's nice, because if you're binging something, and anime, especially shonen, especially old shonen, has a very, how do we put it? Bad, not rap, but like... it's the last time on Dragon Ball, and I the recaps. I fucking hate it. I'm like, I just watched this. Can I skip
especially
this?
If you just watched it like 5 seconds ago. Yeah,
and like last time on fucking Dragon Ball Z, Frieza ate a dick, and it's like, okay, I saw that last. I saw it a
couple minutes ago.
I understand what it's for, because they would literally come out with an episode and then drop it for a month. And then be like, last time on Dragon Ball. And I'm like, oh, that's what happened.
Yeah.
My
it
dumb
definitely
ass.
comes in handy, and like some of those theme songs are awesome.
Oh
but,
my
like,
god, yeah.
are beautifully done and like so catchy and get in your head, but you don't need to hear them like
Yeah.
that much when you're binging. So
And like I wouldn't skip because I didn't have I didn't
yeah,
care.
you weren't used to it back in the day, right? So.
And like even like before they before Netflix was like skip the intro, I would watch the intro because I was just like, fuck it, I don't really care. Now I'm like, if I'm binging it, like I binged a series like I don't know, I think it was 2 weeks ago. I saw the skip intro come up. I was like, well, there you go, I can get that in now. Yeah. Or like there's some series that it's really funny because some series or one series, Mushoku Tensei, it's anime, like intro is just animation. It's or not animation. It's not an intro scene. So like it's not like a 1 minute and 30-second song to like the same thing over and over every episode. It's like the story is continuing as the song is going on.
Okay.
Like stuff is happening as the song is happening, but like stuff is happening.
Okay.
So like the skip intro, I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah, you're
don't
gonna
do
miss
that. You're just gonna miss something.
Yeah.
Or like it's small stuff. Like it's just like it really adds to like the environment and everything in the world. But and now that like I think its second season is coming out now. They have an intro, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? This is trash.
They've gone mainstream.
Yeah. God damn.
I can't do that.
Yeah. Anything other than Naruto and Hell's Paradise that you think, like, because really, all I know is Naruto for you.
Yeah. I was never, like I said, I was never like, oh, I'm going to wear a Naruto headband to school or something. And like, I've never done that. Like,
Press X to doubt.
I pick on like a shirt. I'll pick up like a shirt somewhere, or like I'll pick up the headband somewhere. I'm like, this is cool. But like I said, I had my fanfics.
Yeah.
I was like watching it all the time. I drew the characters like all the time too. I had, while like packing up recently, I found a bunch of terrible Naruto fan art. Like, I'm sure I have pictures somewhere. They are horrifying. And I did that character study on Kakashi that I nearly failed. But there was a pretty nice drawing of him included and some other stuff. And I can't remember the specific name of it, but I know there was a character named Sage. And I was writing some, like, Naruto-looking ripoff where they looked almost identical, all the characters. And they had these headbands. And I drew a couple panels of it, and it was so cringe looking back now. So like that was my thing. I was like hardcore into that, and then I had my comics and things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't given much of the others a chance. Like a couple episodes here and there of the newer stuff, but yeah,
that's valid. Some people, dip their toes. Some people like dive headfirst. Some people just want to watch Naruto every day.
Yeah, right. And like that's the thing. I have other interests too, and like other animated stuff that I enjoy, and like comic books and things like that. So maybe it's just like not my wheelhouse, but like I appreciate it, and like there was still like there's a form of like the art styles and everything too. They're beautiful.
Yeah,
it's just not always my thing.
Yeah, which is
like. It's interesting to see the contrast and stuff of like, let's use JoJo as an example. Like, I like the character outfits and stuff. The animation is a little too much. I feel like it doesn't fit. But like when I see someone dress up like that and do the makeup like that,
cosplays for
holy
JoJo
crap,
are so good,
incredible. But it doesn't translate as well on a screen. But like I'd imagine a black and white drawing of that would look awesome.
Oh yeah, I love and their
the outfits are very cool.
I'm working on a video about fashion and anime, and I have to cover JoJo because obviously I have to. I love the art, but I want to get into it so badly, but it's just the animation. It's just so strange.
Yeah,
and like I love strange animation, and even that is like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah. And that could be like a coloring thing with like the colorists on it, or it could just be what they're unintentionally going for kind of thing, or could be intentional. I don't think so, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do I think that every character is pretty fucking ugly? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
JoJo fans are gonna come for me,
Yeah.
but it's fine. But yeah, it's all, again, it's art is subjective,
Yep.
right? So
Yeah, everyone's gonna have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
And gonna receive it and see it differently.
yeah, like I will shit on Naruto all I
Mhm.
want, all I can, because it's funny.
Yep. Well, and that's what I mean. That's like the bandwagon kind of show to hate on, it seems. But like, there's probably a lot of animes we wouldn't have
Oh,
if it
100%.
weren't for that.
100%.
And again, you know what? I'm throwing it out here on the podcast. JJK, you got a tall guy with white hair with blindfold
Here
over
we
his
go.
eyes. You got a girl.
Yep.
You got a guy with dark hair who's a lot quieter, and you got a loudmouth guy with spiky hair. Now he's a little more redeemable than Naruto.
Yeah.
Which again, Naruto grows on you, and like he's annoying, he's a kid, but like he grows up and is a little more mature. But like
Yeah.
that's what I see when you guys made me watch that show, and I definitely get some Naruto vibes from it. I don't think it took a huge influence. I just think it's funny that there's like four
yeah.
of them, and again, all the character traits I mentioned remind me so much of Naruto, and it's probably not even intentional. It's just there, and
Yeah.
it's what I see when watching it.
Yeah, I originally, like, watching it for the first time, I got the feel
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, like, way darker.
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
like, I got the, you know, the dynamic.
Yeah.
It was really funny, the dynamic. Like, it was literally like, oh, this is Kakashi.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is
Like
literally,
he's kind of got aside from him like reading his makeout novels and stuff. Like he's tall, he's got the white hair, his eyes covered. Like
yeah,
it's all right there, and he's the teacher basically.
yeah,
Sort of like, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I definitely
Fucking-
see that, but like, yeah, I don't know. I just like, I feel like you can't shit on it when it's definitely. I'll whatever. I'll say it. It had to have inspired something.
Oh, 100%.
Like it had to have. There's no way.
It's
to
one of the
deny it, yeah.
biggest. I will give credit where credit is
Yeah.
due. Like, it is one of the biggest anime ever.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason it was a part of the big three
Yeah.
and all that fun stuff. Like, I respect the hell out of anyone who can watch it
Yeah.
through the whole thing, because I need time.
I feel like its peak was like if the original series was right around the Last Airbender kind of time when that
Yeah.
was kind of going on. So those two kind of coincide. Like I don't know, does that count as an anime? Like I don't know, right?
No, it's
like
not made in Japan.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
So like that's a great show.
That is a great
We've
show.
talked
I
about that. That's a
fucking-
great show.
Fucking, that is my favorite show of
Yeah,
all time.
They kind of remind me of each other. I think it's like the innocence of like Aang and Naruto kind of
Yeah.
remind me of each other and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And whenever I think about filler episodes, even though it's got no relation, I just always think of the cabbage stand guy from The Last Airbender. But it's not filler. It's just there. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
it's just
a
there
great
for a joke.
comedic piece that's
Yeah.
there. And I just whenever I think of him, I think of like some random episode of Naruto in some random part of the Leaf Village, like helping some guy and maybe with cabbages or something. Like it just makes me think of it. But like, yeah, I don't know.
We can talk about Avatar because
I don't yeah,
care.
Avatar is great.
Yeah,
like,
Avatar is,
that's
again,
another one I keep always saying to rewatch, and that's a lot easier because it's maybe like 60 episodes,
Yeah.
if that, throughout the 3 seasons. And
yeah,
yeah,
it is literally. I watched it for the first time throughout. Like I watched it here and there
Yep.
when I was a kid because it's just on when you're a kid. You're not.
Yep.
You're just like, oh, cool. This is cool. Bald boy does windy things.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Windy things.
You
and
don't-
the
you're
water
not
girl
really-
and the fire guy. And,
Yeah, you're not really paying attention that
Yeah.
much, right? So I watched it in the start of the pandemic, and Moon and I watched it through, and holy mother of God, I was like, okay, yep, this is my favorite
This-
show
now
of
you get
all
it
time.
kind of thing. Yeah,
Yep, I was like, well, this is it. This is it. This is fucking amazing.
yeah. I remember bits and pieces when it was originally airing and stuff, but like 2015, 2016, like sat through and watched it all, and it was like, holy crap! Like, I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like the writing is so good.
yeah.
Oh God,
It has a good ending, and like
yep.
each season it gets darker, and like
Yup.
each season is different than the last one, kind of thing. Like it's not just tonally it gets darker, but it's like
Yeah.
they're drastically different styles and everything of how it's written and how it's still all connected, but it feels like a very different, you know what I mean? It's not the same thing happening over and over again. Yeah, we got our big finales and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah, it's just it's perfect.
Beautiful,
I mean,
beautiful
there's no perfect series, but
It's gotta
near-
be close
It's
to
near
that. Yeah,
perfect.
near
My
perfect for sure.
God. Oh, it's just I could
Fingers
literally.
crossed for the Netflix show.
Yeah, we're not crossing our fingers
No,
for
no.
that. That is as
Uncle
soon as-
Iroh casting though.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
that's the only
That's
good
the one good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can't. I don't think it can be worse than the movie that we already got. But that's,
No, what movie?
yeah.
That didn't come
No.
out. No, that doesn't
They never
exist.
talked about a sequel a couple of years back. Like,
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
What?
Nope. What?
Did-
Yeah, there was talks of him doing a second one, like up until I don't like randomly out of nowhere, and it's like those kids are grown up. Like,
Yeah, what
what's
the
the
fuck?
goal? Yeah,
Like
yeah,
like that white boy's grown up.
Yeah,
Like
just like one of the things I always remember is like you just want to talk about how bad that movie is and that casting. Sokka is Jasper from Twilight, a fucking vampire. Like that just shows how bad the whitewashing was in that movie,
Yeah.
and like that just sums it up perfectly.
literally.
Yeah,
even
like-
even as like a teenager, I was like,
Yeah,
what the fuck
exactly.
is this?
Yeah, I tried to watch it one time when it was just like randomly airing on TV, and it was I don't know, it was so bad.
It's just
It was
so
like trying to
bad.
do a comedic part with Zuko and Uncle Iroh, and it was
No.
it was just brutal, and like the effects were terrible, and
Yep.
yeah,
Fuck.
not fun.
God, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's the same with Promise Neverland season 2. Does not exist. Does not exist. But yeah, the new series. Not looking forward to it.
No?
No, because the original creators left the show.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that can make a huge difference.
Yeah,
And if
that's-
they're not happy with
yeah.
it, yeah.
they left because of creative differences, and I was like, well, there
Yeah,
it is.
there it is.
There it is. That's why the
Oop,
One
there it
Piece
is.
live action. I was like, perfect. I can't wait for that.
And that's coming up soon, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, by the time this is out, it'll be out.
yeah,
But
okay.
hopefully it's good. Just
Yeah,
dated
lots of
ourselves.
people are
on
hyping it up there.
because Oda's involved, and as soon as Oda's involved, I'm like, yep, it's gonna be
Ding,
good.
ding.
Because he's like, you're not doing shit without me.
Yep. Now, I know you didn't watch much of like Naruto, but did you ever play any of the video games? Because they were pretty
On the
good.
PS2, yeah.
Yeah, the PS2 like fighting games
Yeah.
were awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know, my opinion. I'm
Yeah.
not much of a gamer, but
Yeah.
like back then I was a little bit more playing and everything, and I thought they were a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was that. We would play. It was a Shippuden one. I can't remember the name of it because there were so many.
There were so many. There was like the Uzumaki Chronicles 1,
yeah.
2, 3 or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Ultimate Ninja up to like 6 or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot. We played that and Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3.
Oh, yeah.
Was it 3 or 2? I don't remember, but it was Budokai because it was the RPG elements
Oh,
where
yeah,
like
okay.
you could like move around the map and like that was cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was that's we played that shit all the time.
Yeah.
That and SmackDown versus Raw
Oh,
2007
yeah.
baby.
Yeah. One of the best ones.
Yep. My favorite in
Yeah.
that series.
Great soundtrack. Did you ever do the general manager mode? Because
I did the general manager mode every
yeah.
fucking year.
Okay, now the question was though, did you ever play through the matches or just simulate them? I just simulated them, and then it's like, oh, this guy got injured because I booked them too much and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
I simmed the matches. I
yeah.
was like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, no, it was awesome having that like control and being able to do it all.
I guess the new games have GM mode now too.
Yeah, I think they added it back. I just can't imagine it's as fun.
Yeah, I know.
Like, cause like you get the emails from like the superstars and stuff. Oh man, takes me back.
I thought you were gonna book me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like then they jump ship to the other show, and
Yeah.
it's like, do you draft? Then you only have so much money, and you pull all the guys in, or you start with the pre-drafted rosters.
Yeah.
which sometimes helped you money wise. I remember too, like 2007, because we were talking about that. That was like the game where they were advertising that you could like fight in the crowd during one kind of match, and they were really, like this is nothing new for wrestling, but really advertising the sweat.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what
I
they
don't
were
know
so
why.
proud of the realistic sweat or something
Yeah.
on the wrestlers. Like they were really showing that off, and
Yeah,
it's like
it was really weird.
yeah, it was like
It was-
overly promoted how
Yeah.
sweaty they were getting, and it's
Yeah.
like okay, like
Yeah, I think that was either 2007 or 2008, something
yeah,
like that.
it was one or the other.
Yeah, because that's when it was like 2008 was ECW was
Yeah,
the,
they added them in.
yeah.
One of my biggest things with those games is like Jeff Hardy returned to WWE in 2006.
Mhm.
He didn't show up till 2008 in the games. I
Shit.
get it; it takes a long time, but like
Yeah, what the fuck?
you could have just used like an old model of him and just like beefed him up a little bit or
Yeah.
something. Like the move set has been in the game since he was like not in WWE. It was
Oh
like
yeah.
character move set like 30 or something
Yeah.
like that, and it's like he's literally going like this and he does the swanton. It's like it's right there. Like the first SmackDown vs. Raw, I can't even tell you how many created Jeffs I had in different outfits just because the move set was there.
God.
Yeah, well
Are-
that was a tangent.
No,
Wrestling?
it's yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's a what it it's
Starts
not,
as anime and goes
yeah,
wherever.
it goes wherever. So back on, we're gonna keep talking about this wrestling video game because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Last episode we talked about fucking Kenny Rogers for 10 fucking minutes.
Kenny Rogers.
We're fine. Good lord. Oh, that was a mess.
He had a good voice and stuff, but like, and a couple good songs and stuff here and there. But whenever I hear his name, all I think about is the Jackass, the Mad TV skits of Will
Yes.
Sasso
Oh my
pretending
God.
to be him.
Holy
And there's that one
shit.
episode case. So the other day when I heard you guys were talking about
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers, I'm just like trying to find a GIF from that to
Yeah.
send it and be like, please tell me
Yeah,
somebody
because
knows
Will
this.
Sasso was like,
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers!
Kenny Rogers. He's like drinking all
Yeah.
the Jack Daniels
so
and
fucking
oh,
good. I
it's so
forgot
good.
about that. May he rest
I'm gonna
in
catch
peace.
a bat with my teeth. Oh, so good.
Oh my god. Jesus.
And there was
Oh.
one with the jacket, like Steve-O was actually
Yeah.
in one of them, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Good
Gee,
times.
that brought me back. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. God, I, again, completely forgot that happened.
hmm
Fuck.
It was a weird period, but
Yep.
it happened, yeah.
Yep. Fuck. When I got SmackDown versus Raw 2007, I got it Christmas of 2006.
Okay.
And so, two friends and I literally stayed in our basement for 3 days straight and played the fuck out of it.
Oh.
So much so that we beat it real quick. And yeah, my parents were like, "You want to come out? Do you want some other? Do you want to come out?"
Yeah, you want to get some fresh air?
Yeah.
Go outside?
And I'm like, "Nah, it's Canadian winter, mom."
Yeah, we'll just keep playing. Yeah, because they really like hooked you in. Like those story modes in those games, some of them
So
were
batshit
absolutely
and fucking
ridiculous,
insane, yeah.
and absolutely insane, but hilarious. Like
What
2000, yeah. Sorry,
You're the Undertaker, and Tori Wilson's like, "You're so sexy," and I'm like, "What the?"
no matter
fuck?
who you play as,
No
yeah,
matter.
she's taking you into the shower and
Yeah.
everything.
And
And then I
you're-
think if you did the Raw game, it was like Trish or something.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, and like 2007 had like, I remember something with Bischoff and like, this is Raw, baby, and like Lita's with you or something like that.
Yep.
I think it's 2006 though. There's like the SmackDown story mode that like Teddy Long is walking Tori Wilson to her car, and then Teddy Long gets hit by a car.
Yes, I remember
and it
that.
turns out it's like Chris Jericho or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, there's this whole, no matter who you play as, there's this like locker room cutscene
Yep.
of like John Cena and Rob Van Dam like talking, and it's so random, but it's like with their voices and they're blaming each other for Teddy being hit by a car, and then it's revealed it's like Jericho or something at the end.
It was Tori Wilson
Yeah,
all
it was
along.
all along.
Fuck.
And there was like another one. I don't remember what game it was. Maybe 2010 or 11. Maybe 2008. I don't know. Undertaker like possesses certain people.
And Zombie Santino.
yeah,
Yeah,
the Zombie Santino game. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
that was
my
210.
God. That was 10? Okay.
Yeah.
That
Wait,
was crazy too.
2009.
2009?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember something like that, and just like Man, why is Rey Mysterio like the heel against the Undertaker? Like, what is this story mode?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, whoever
Yeah.
wrote those was just straight up on crack.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they were absolutely ridiculous, and like it wasn't consistent because it was like this person wouldn't do this. Like,
no.
you could play as whoever you want, but the story wouldn't make any sense. Like, this would never happen. And it's just like how in those newer games they've been adding like Gladiator, Batista, and like all these my career guys that
Yeah.
aren't real wrestlers
Yeah.
and like weird outfits on people, and I'm like, why? I Gladiator Batista might be made up, but
Yeah.
there's something weird like that.
Yeah, I don't really. I have 2K19, and that's the last one I bought.
I don't remember what game it was, but there was like I don't know, those created superstars that people come up with these days are
Yeah.
some of them are hilarious, some of them are just ridiculous. Somebody made Batista, but it's barista, and he's in a Starbucks
I love it.
apron.
I love it.
So good. And he has the little hat and everything, but like, why? I love it, but like, there's weirder things too.
Future world champion right there.
Yeah, right there. And like, I never played wrestling like online.
No,
like,
neither. I
against
suck
people.
at video games.
Yeah, I'm terrible. Like, I'd done Call of Duty and like Halo and things like that here and there, but like, I remember my brother, I want to say it was WW12 or something. We had like our Xbox Live hooked up, decides to like do like a Royal Rumble or something, or like a ladder match.
Yeah.
And like, he skipped the entrances, so he had no idea who was coming or whatever. It starts playing, and there's like Slender Man and Rick Ross, and like, it's like the most random thing ever with all these people from around the world. It's like, who created these guys? Actually, you know what? We might have seen the entrances because Rick Ross came out with the clock and the stick like the boogeyman. And it was like, why?
Jesus Christ.
People were like something else back then.
God.
Oh, God.
Fuck. Those were like my childhood for like a good, like that's all I would play
Yeah.
is the wrestling games.
That was when I got my PS2. My first game was the first SmackDown versus Raw.
Yep.
I got it like a couple years later than most people, but like,
Yeah.
because I was playing my PS1 until it stopped working.
Oh yeah, same here. There,
Yeah.
when the PS2, when my friend got a PS2, I was like, I want a PS2, and my parents were like, here's a PS1, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I can
like-
play WWF Warzone.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is a
Warzone.
shit game, which is hot garbage.
Yeah, I was playing SmackDown 2 Know Your Role for the PS1.
Oh yeah.
And then I randomly at like a yard sale got like a WCW NWO Thunder or something like that.
Yeah.
Like all these random time ones, and I was like, Know Your Role is like, doesn't hold up, but like, wow, it's better than some of these other games.
Yeah,
back
especially the like closer to death WCW
Yeah,
games
yeah.
were hot garbage.
I was like, I got it like at this yard sale, and I looked up online like a cheat code how to unlock Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
All I had to do was like win this one match against somebody. Can't even like get one move in. Like it was like so bad, and then it's
yeah,
like
and it's unmasked Rey Mysterio.
yeah,
because it's
yeah, exactly. And then the
WCW.
crowd's like throwing garbage in the ring.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my, what is this?
What is this?
Backyard wrestling? Like
Oh God.
those games were something else too.
Oh
like
God, I wasn't allowed to play those games because
I
my
think I
parents
only
were like,
played it once or
"Is that a
twice.
rated M
Yeah.
game?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
but it has titties."
yeah, titties and fire and
Yep.
death.
Yep. Fuck. Yeah, dude. There was a point where like I got so good at Warzone that it just wasn't fun anymore
Mhm.
because I beat everyone with Stone Cold. I beat everyone with Kane.
Yeah.
I beat everyone with Bret Hart.
Yeah.
I beat everyone with Mankind. Did I touch Triple H? No. Like
That was that weird phase too where like the Royal Rumbles were just so much fun because it's literally like one punch against the ropes, the
Yep.
guy goes flying out of the ring.
Yep.
Irish whip, they go flying out.
Yep.
There's like 5 people backed out. Just start mashing buttons, everybody goes flying out.
yeah.
And then meanwhile you pick up like a SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. You go to jump off the top rope and your target's on the wrong person, you're eliminated
You're
in
done.
the Royal Rumble. It's like, yeah, I don't know. There's some pretty good glitch videos out there for
Oh my
all
God.
those games.
Especially from 2K20 when
Yeah,
that
oh my God.
that was
what a train
such
wreck
a shit
of a
show.
game, yeah.
Oh my God. That was so funny.
I've never seen anything go to that extent.
Yeah, I've never in my life been like, well, I guess that's I don't
I don't need this.
Yeah, I do not need this. Like every year I've been like, except for like since 2019, I've been like, well, I don't need this.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, I obsess over them a little bit because like it brings me back.
Yep.
And like because I don't have GM mode, I do universe mode.
Yep.
Which is
Similar,
but
yeah.
it's like not as fun. But it's still like, this is my universe.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my
This is my
WWE universe.
Empire.
Yep. God. But yeah. Fuck. Yeah, that was one of my favorite features of 2K19 was the community creations feature. So like, I have CM Punk.
Yeah.
I have Tommaso Ciampa.
Yep.
I have,
All these, yeah.
all the people they didn't put in.
And there was some good ones out there, right?
Yeah.
At the time, there were some good models people were creating.
Yeah, it was like literally the CM Punk looks like dead on.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, how did you get his tattoos?
Yeah. And there was that like Creator Wrestler website where people used to put like full recipes. It's like, eyes have to be this size and like, oh my God, I used to like print them out and go through just to copy some of them. It was crazy.
Yeah. It's like,
you played
hell.
Here Comes the Pain, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That was
That's
one of
like
my favorites.
one of the best, yeah.
That is one of my favorites.
The riding on a motorcycle, the forklift, the jumping
So
off the buildings
good.
and everything. The
So good.
helicopter. Oh
Yep.
my God. It
So
was crazy,
fucking good.
yeah.
Yeah, I loved all this backstage. Like all I
Yeah.
would do is hardcore matches.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
all I
got
would
to,
do.
and then you go in all the different rooms and stuff.
Yep.
That was the best one for it, but some of the ones before that had some pretty good like
Shut Your
background
Mouth.
levels.
Shut Your Mouth.
Shut Your
had a
Mouth
good
was
one.
good.
Yeah.
I found Shut Your Mouth is basically Here Comes the Pain with a few different wrestlers.
Yeah.
And slightly worse graphics and because it's older and like the environments aren't as much fun. Like it's still fun, but it's
Yeah. Fuck. Good God.
Yeah, that takes me back. There's like this video where it's like wrestling video games or something out of context. And I want to say it's Here Comes the Pain, and it's literally like two wrestlers like up on the like SmackDown fist, and the one guy just like falls off. Like just completely falls off, not even pushed, and then the other guy goes to dive, completely misses, and they're both on the ground.
And
I'm
they're just like
every time.
the hit reaction
fucking
is
time.
like he flips.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Fuck.
Every time.
What a clusterfuck. Welcome to the anime podcast.
Yeah, we're talking wrestling.
Yeah, there's a wrestling anime. I gotta find that. Yeah.
Oh, Tiger Mask?
Not Tiger Mask.
Oh.
That is a wrestling anime. But there was an older wrestling anime that I can never figure out the name of, and I really gotta Google that.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I don't know. It's what? Like, I don't know, mid 2000s.
We got word from our audience. Oh,
yeah, it's Ultimate Muscle.
Oh shit! I
That's
remember
it.
that.
God damn.
That was like
All
an
right.
early 2000s thing
Yeah.
or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. All the characters creeped me out, but I still watched it because it was.
See, I didn't know that was an anime. I thought that
Yeah.
was just like an animation here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That had like a following for a bit. I don't know if anyone still talks about it.
No, I had I
remember
them.
the little rubber guys.
Yeah, I had the little rubber guys, and they made Mighty Beans of them.
Oh shit!
And
Mighty Beans.
throwback.
Yeah, I just saw mine the
you
other day.
Gen Z kids.
Yeah.
That's they were beans.
Yeah.
Plastic little pill-shaped beans that had characters on them.
Yep, and they had like a little magnet thing in them that
Yep.
clicked. And there was always a rumor that I think it was just a like old folk tale that like in like some countries they were ants inside of them, and that's how they moved. That was like a whole story when I was a kid that people used to tell. And it's like, yeah, that's not true. But
Yeah.
like sure.
Jesus.
And they actually had a resurface like a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
For the kids listening. There was a Fortnite series, so that kind of shows how recent the Mighty Beans were, kind of.
Jesus.
I think that was the only license they had, to be honest.
Yeah.
I remember Fortnite ones, but like back when we were younger, there was like Simpsons, Marvel, Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles, like everything.
Yeah, I had the Ultimate Muscle ones.
Yeah.
And I had a Spider-Man one. I had
Yeah.
a bunch.
Yeah, I had
'Cause-
Spider-Man, Simpsons,
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles,
Yep.
and then the regular ones. There was also like these little rubber outfits you could put on
Yep.
them that were pretty sweet.
God.
Yeah,
What
that's
a
definitely a
fucking
trip
time.
down memory lane.
Jesus. Holy moly.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever play Were you big into Yu-Gi-Oh?
Like everyone when the show like first came out, huge
Yeah.
craze for it. I had like a bunch of toys, I had stickers, I had the cards.
Yeah.
But like it kind of died off. It's one like I don't have much
Yeah.
memory of it, but
Yeah.
I watched it all the time too. I hung on to my cards for till I was like moving to Toronto. I think that is again ages
Yeah.
ago now, or it was like grade 11 or something. I like sold my like 10 of them for like $40. I probably could have got a little bit more for them, but at
Yeah.
the same time, some of them were fakes and some of them had my initials JN written on the back because my mom didn't want anyone to take them
Oh.
when I brought them to school.
Okay, that's valid.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when I realized the guy
I was
like,
about to be like, you fucking idiot.
so, like,
I thought
yeah.
you were just being a
no,
douchebag
she
and
put,
just like
yeah, no.
being like, this is mine.
Yeah, I want to say,
Sasuke's
honestly,
my
I don't
favorite
even think it was
character.
grade 12 or like moving to Toronto. I want to say it was
Yeah.
like grade 11. I was just like selling off some old stuff to make room for new things and stuff. So I was
Yep.
like, decided to sell those. The toys and stuff I like got rid of a long time ago, I think. But I had like a buildable like model kit of Blue Eyes and stuff, and I always Kaibu was cool, and like I
Yeah.
always wanted the Blue Eyes card and everything. So. And I had these like mini figures that used to come on these black stands shaped like a card, and they reflected the characters. And I remember the Kaiba one was like a pain to get, but like Joey came in like a set with a few other characters and all.
Joey Wheeler.
So there was cool stuff like that. And it was like, I don't know, I was into so many other things at the time too. Like I remember collecting the cards and like here and there, and I remember I had like one of the Blue Eyes cards that came with the tin, but I traded it for like the regular style Blue Eyes card that like everyone recognizes.
Yeah.
I don't remember what was special about mine, but I regret trading it for the regular one. But
Yeah. I was so obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid that like our whole neighborhood was obsessed with it, right? So I come from a small town, so we would go like door to door and like challenge each other.
yep.
And so back when it was like first starting, my parents didn't really get me the cards a lot, just because, you know, fucking your kid is coming up here, I want Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah.
I was like, you have Pokemon cards. I want Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah.
cards.
Plus, there was like the Digimon cards and all that at the same time.
I had those
Yeah,
too.
I had a few of them.
Yeah.
Lots of toys from
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah. But I got so desperate that my deck was so shit that I went on the computer. I printed out the face of the card, and I would use my glue stick from school and stick it to my shitty Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So
I heard of people doing that. I don't think I ever did that myself.
So I had all 5 of the what's his name? Big boy.
Exodia?
Exodia.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think until like the last few years, like I like I said, I'm not much of a gamer, but
Yeah.
I love vintage video game stores. Like
Yeah.
just the
Same here.
look, seeing everything, the music they play,
Yeah.
like that's from the games and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like such an experience. Like
Yeah.
it makes me feel good. I just like love the vibe of it, and like
Yeah.
it wasn't until over like my experience of like realizing, wow, these guys like really delve into like cards and stuff too, that I actually saw all the Exodia pieces together.
Yeah.
When I was in school and actually playing it, there'd be like that one kid who had like 1 or 2 pieces, and it's like, oh my god, like how did you get this?
Yeah.
But like I never seen a full one until like way when I was past it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
I-
you had him right off the
Oh
get-go.
yeah,
eh?
I had them
All the
right off the
Egyptian
get-go.
gods, too, and
Yep.
everything?
Oh no, I had those real.
Who
Those
was
ones
your favorite?
were real.
Mine was Obelisk. I liked the way he looked.
That's the blue one, right?
blue one,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
favorite. Yeah, yeah, either the blue one or the red one. 'Cause I
Yeah.
had the little mini figures
What
as
was
well.
it? Cypher the Sky Dragon, Obelisk the Tormentor.
Yeah,
And wasn't it Ray or something?
it
the
started with an
Golden
R.
Dragon
yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Someone's like in the
So-
someone's like yelling at their phone right now, being like, "It's that!"
Yeah.
If they've made it this far. But yeah, when when Shonen Jump was a thing,
Another throwback.
Yeah, when Shonen Jump was published in Canada.
Yep.
It would sometimes come with Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yes. Okay.
And so I would like ask because my parents would actually get me Shonen Jump because it's reading, and that's how I, it's how I learned how to. I'm kidding. That's how I learned how to read.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like back then, we had there was Wizard magazine. There'd be like a free comic or like a trading card with those.
Yeah.
The Lego magazines, they always came with the Bionicle comics. Yeah. Things like that. There was always something to like catch on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they came with cards.
Mm-hmm. So I. This is going to be extremely Canadian, and like everyone is. Oh no, actually, it's an American thing as well. So, correct me if I'm wrong. The Scholastic Book Fair.
Oh, okay.
Had Shonen Jump.
Shit.
And it was the only time I saw Shonen Jump, and I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta get it." The other reason why I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta get it." Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon was a free fucking card.
Holy shit.
And I still have it to this day.
Wow.
And I was like, Mom, please. And she's like, fine, whatever. She's like, I'll read it. I read it like 84 different fucking times. I've read the same One Piece chapter 84 times. It also had Yugi on the cover.
Yeah.
Like, or not Yugi, Pharaoh Yugi, whatever his name is. Moon knows it. She's probably going to yell at me every time she listens to it. It's this! No. But, yeah. And then
See, I always remember, like, that meme, like, with me going into the book fair and buying erasers and posters and stuff. I remember buying, like, there was a Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock poster. Aging myself again there. When that was, like, one of the first shots of him just, like, with the tentacles and everything. Had to have that. And like there was like the Odd Captain Underpants book or Bone by Jeff Smith. Like those were like the only things I actually remember picking up book wise, but I actually don't remember ever seeing Shonen Jump. So
it was the
cool.
only time I ever saw it. So I was just like,
yeah, and with that card, like holy crap.
Yeah, I was like, definitely need that.
Yeah.
I got Toon Dark Magician Girl from it.
Oh, sick.
That one wasn't legal. That one was me being like, oh, this book is open. Bloop. Now we can go home.
Yep.
It was whatever. It was like fucking a decade ago.
I don't think the police are coming for you.
No. Imagine. I heard you stole from this tiny town. This tiny town grocery store.
That's the thing. Like you go into like Walmart and stuff. The card section's like trash. Like the people still steal that stuff all the time. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's booming again now.
That's the thing. There's been a card resurface and like
which blows my mind.
Yeah,
I thought it was like, oh, is this gone? For the longest time, I was like, oh, these aren't being collected as much now. So whatever. And now it's like $14 million for a Charizard, and I'm like,
God.
What the fuck? Like, let me enjoy the things
I never even had that card. I can like proudly say I didn't have that card.
I did have that card, and like I sold it for 25 cents because I don't know. I was getting rid of kitty things.
Yeah, we had in my house. We had the Blastoise original.
Yeah,
it had like a huge scuff right on the front.
That's at least $50.
Yeah, we like Blastoise probably.
Yeah.
My like Pokemon like proud moment is the like.
If you say Mewtwo, I swear to God.
Yes, Mewtwo, but it's like when the first movie came out in the theaters, they gave away these promo packs.
Yeah.
And it was a Mewtwo card, an Electabuzz, a Pikachu, and a Dragonite.
Yep.
And I have so many of those. How I got them is because this is way after the movie came out. There was this little video rental store, like 10-minute walk from my parents' place. And me and my brother used to rent the VHS of that so much.
Yeah.
And it's like, at that point, it's like, why haven't we just bought it?
Yeah.
Anyways, at one point, the owner's like, you guys really like this movie. Like, do you want these? And he hands me, like, still sealed in all these, like, little poly bags, the packs with the cards, and they
Oh,
even had
shit.
like the little Mew cardboard thing saying like watch for this character and stuff. And like obviously we were younger and opened them all, but
Yeah.
like I gotta have at least like 6 of that Mewtwo card, and I'm sure I have a couple of the others. And
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
think I had like 3 of those from like trading and
it's
stuff.
like cool because it's like it also has like a little print that says
Yeah.
Pokemon the first
Oh, that's
movie on the
sick.
front, and like the Mewtwo card that came with the VHS tape if you bought it when it actually went in home and everything. So like I had that too, and that was cool.
That's probably how I got it.
Yeah, because
So I don't remember seeing it in
there was a
theaters.
card that was given out in the theaters, and there was a card you got if you bought the VHS. I'm also just waiting for that person. Like, we have our friend here who like thrifts all the time,
Yeah.
and buys VHSs.
Yeah.
It would be really cool to like see someone like him buy a VHS and it still has the card or
Yeah.
something in
Come
it.
on, Tanner.
Yeah, please,
on,
Tanner,
please.
find one.
Find it.
Because it's just like when like you open up the I honestly think it was when I was in a Value Village with him, and he was looking at VHSs, and I started looking at a few. Like a couple of them had like a random like manual or something in it, and I was like, that's cool to see. Like not usually do you get something like that still included, but yeah.
God. God damn.
Yeah.
Well,
Takes me back.
yep. Fuck. God. Yeah, I think when I went through a purge of like, I'm an adult, I'm a teenager, but I don't need these kitty things, and I sold them. I'm gonna buy hockey cards
Yep.
now, and I'm like, fuck my life. Now I'm like, why did I fucking do that?
One of my biggest ones was like, this is again probably like grade 10. I had a Nintendo. I have a Nintendo DS. Still have it. I have like one game for it, and I've never ever bought another, and that's really stupid because there's a lot of great games. But again, I just didn't game enough. I think honestly it was my mom's, and she's like, I don't use this. Here, cool, and she like regifted it to me or something, and I never bought any games for it. Like not even Mario. Like I have like Iron Man and like something completely random, and it's like,
I thought you were gonna be
Jeez.
like, I have Nintendogs, and that's it.
But what was cool about it is you could play the Game Boy Advance games on it.
Yeah.
So what I realized is like I was just playing my Game Boy Advance games on my DS just because I could. That's what that's what I have. But like at some point in like grade 10, I guess I went to a Video Time, which was a video trade-in
Damn.
place and stuff.
Throwback.
Yeah, still around actually. They just moved to a different spot, and I went to the Hawk Shop. Too. The Hawk Shop, I think, offered me like $5 for what I'm about to say, or they weren't interested because they had other stuff. But I went in with a Game Boy Advance, like the rectangle-y
Yeah.
kind of one.
Yeah.
It had a Maple Leafs like decal on it, like across the whole thing. It was very cool looking, but like if you're not a Leafs fan, like it was
Yeah.
the silver one too, though, so it would look
Okay.
nice if you could get the sticker off. And Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Blue,
Oh my
and
god.
possibly Pokemon Yellow. I can't remember.
Oh.
And I went into Video Time, and the guy offered me $20.
20.
And my dad's just like, well, you didn't have $20 before. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's a good point. And I sold them.
That's like GameStop bad.
Yeah, it's like that's what I mean. There's so many memes about GameStop, but they ripped me off just as bad because they'll turn that around and sell it for like
Oh.
$40 probably
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then for the cartridge. The blue, the sticker was pretty rough, but gold was in pretty good shape. And
Yeah.
that was like the first game I had for the Game Boy Color. I bought like a Game Boy Color off a neighbor, and they included Pokemon Gold, and it was
Woo.
like, yeah, that was like a throwback too. I still have that Game Boy Color. I think I have like a Spider-Man game or two still for it, but maybe a Dr. Mario or something. I don't know. I have a few really random games still for it.
At my parents' place, I think I still have a like an original Game Boy
Cool.
that my uncle gave me. It was his, and all he had was Gremlins 2 and Tetris.
Tetris, yeah, classic.
And yeah, that's the only games I played on that Game Boy.
Yeah, like I don't have any batteries in mine, but it'd be cool to load it up and see how it still works. And,
Yeah.
like, I remember having the little plug-in lights and stuff.
Yeah.
And like going back to Mewtwo here for a sec, Because I could talk about Mewtwo for all day.
Yeah.
Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Blue. I didn't have Mewtwo on my saved game, but I had friends who had him on like Pokemon Red or whatever.
Yeah.
The amount of times we hooked up that connector thing to try and trade Pokemon just to get me a Mewtwo, and it never worked. I can't tell you how many times sitting there with different friends trying to get me a Mewtwo. Never worked. And I mean, ever. It never worked. And I had like those like funky lights you could plug in on the front too. Like one was like a hockey player with a stick, and there was like a Spider-Man one. And yeah, like shine down on your screen for when you were playing in the dark. I never played in the dark. I just liked the way it looked.
Oh my god. I mean, tried and true. You do that all the time. Oh, I just like the way it looked.
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. That's me with a lot of stuff. Like, yeah, it's the aesthetic of it. Yeah, and like I said, I remember the little squiggly light that you could like bend. It was like those reading lights that you could like clamp on.
Yeah.
Kinda. I remember there was one like that just like plugged into the side of, I think, any of the Game Boys at the time. It just depended where the slot was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had a Game Boy SP.
See, that one I never had.
Yeah.
Ari still has one. I
still have it.
I don't think my brother had that one. I think he had the same as me. He had the Game Boy Advance, and then he went to the DS.
Yeah. I think Moon had the SP. I'm not sure. And then she has her DS.
Wasn't there like movies you could get for the SP, kind of like the PSP and stuff? Wasn't there some kind of like cartridge thing for the? Maybe
That
I'm
I don't.
of something else.
Yeah, that I don't think so. Watching movies on a PSP is fucking horrible.
Yeah, like I can't imagine that was enjoyable. I never did that. There was some cool. Looking back now, when I see them, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I didn't know they made that movie on the PSP, but like I never had one, and I don't plan on getting
my
one.
friends had one, but they're like, look at this South Park episode, and I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Great. You're watching it on a tiny, like.
Yeah.
It's got like 3 pixels.
Yeah, exactly. And even now, it's like we can watch so much on our phones, but there's a lot of things where I'm like, I want to wait and watch this till I can watch it on a big screen.
Well, yeah.
I don't care where, like if it's in bed or like on the living room, whatever, or my laptop, anything. I need to like see it on a big screen. The little phone's not going to do enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, one of the only things I don't watch anime on my phone. I read manga on my phone.
Yep.
I TikTok, I sometimes YouTube. I used to watch YouTube all the time on my phone. I don't usually anymore. It's just my PS4.
Yeah.
But yeah. I rather watch anime like on a screen, like a big screen, a bigger screen, if I may say.
It has that more theatrical kind of feel, and
yeah, just feels like I'm watching TV.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can get a better visual everything, and
yeah. That and like if it's on a TV, I'll watch it.
Yes.
If it's on my phone, I was like, oh, I got a notification.
Yeah.
I gotta click out of it now.
Well, that's the thing too. There's been a bunch of times where like I like set up my phone like this, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch this video to like fall asleep, and then I'm like out, and I wake up in the morning and sign on, and I'm like, oh, I guess I never finished. I fell asleep before the video ended. Or it's like, oh, I thought I started a new video. Nope, it's like the same one I went to bed with. It's like you get a few minutes in, and then you're just like,
see, that's you. You fall asleep.
Maybe that's just me. Yeah,
we put anything on, and you're like, like I swear to God.
Yeah, I get to a certain point, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's my own fault, whether it's late or not. Like, that's the thing, too, with even watching on my phone. If it's too late, I'm going to pass out.
Yeah. God. Fuck. It's a couple weeks ago, before we go, when Hayden was over, we were just chilling, and it was not even late. It was like maybe midnight, right? And I want to call Hayden out right now on the podcast. Don't give a fuck. He can go fuck himself. This piece of shit needs to get, like, he snores so loudly, and, like, he needs to get it checked out. Like, my boy needs a doctor.
Yep.
Anybody in Calgary, get help Hayden. So, hashtag help Hayden find a doctor. But he'll, like, we were chilling, and all you hear is, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then Moon is like chilling right beside him, and she's like, dude, your phone's on. And you're like, no, his TikTok is playing as he's falling asleep right beside us as we're having a conversation. And I'm like, how the fuck? There is so much stimulation going on right now. Genshin is on.
Yep.
TikTok is on. We're talking. I'm like, how did you fall asleep? How? How on earth? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, the phone's usually the way to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I was like, how on
See, if
earth?
I'm like sitting up with it, I won't fall asleep. But if I like lay down, it's like there's a point where it just drops on my face, and it's like, okay, it's bedtime. Like,
Yeah.
I just hit myself with my phone. It's time to sleep.
Yep. Well, thank you, Jack.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Coming on the podcast and talking about anime for a half an hour, and then the rest of the half an hour was not about it.
Yep, sounds
All
about
good.
right.
That's fine.
It's
fine.
I always enjoy talking with you on one of these. So
Of course. Last one we didn't post because Adam got depression. It's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna
The
say
pandemic happened, and I was just like,
happened, and
fuck it.
I remember there was one we did, and Moon was falling asleep with the microphone in her hand.
Yep.
And I think we redid it.
Because it was like 3 hours long.
Yeah, that one was really long. It
Yeah.
was good, but it was really long.
Yeah.
And then I think we did another one, and something went wrong. And then
Yeah.
we did another one.
Yeah.
And I think that one we didn't post.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I know we've done a few of them, and they've
Yeah.
all been fun.
Yeah. God. Where can the people find you?
Instagram, Torontopeterquill. Instagram, JN Studios 2018. That's pretty much my main two things, but I mean Torontopeterquill is my more active one. I haven't had time to post my art lately, and you can find me at Fan Expo this weekend. But I mean, this is gonna
It's
air
gonna be come out
after
in
Fan
fucking
Expo.
like a month after Fan Expo happens.
So
So
whoops. See me at future cons.
Yep.
And keep up to date with Instagram to see what I'm up to. And check out the podcast. There's been great guests before me. There's great guests coming. I'm excited to listen to other people on this.
Oh.
And even though we didn't talk about anime much, I enjoyed my time.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's always fun.
It's not.
It's not anime. It starts as anime, but it
Yeah.
doesn't finish as anime.
Exactly. Fuck. Oh, God. All right, guys. I hope you had a lovely time. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to support the show, you can go to Ko-fi.
Hashtag help Hayden.
Hashtag help Hayden. Use the hashtag help Hayden on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, if that's still a thing in a month.
Yeah.
Threads, I'm not on that one, but you can use it. Pinterest,
Now we're
LinkedIn.
talking. Yeah, LinkedIn. There
Let's
we go.
go. Let's go, LinkedIn's, you weird boomers. All right. God. All right. Yeah, if you want to support me and the show, it's greatly appreciated. You could get a little shout out in the middle. It's Ko-fi.com/Adam Corky. That's Ko-fi.com/Adam Corky. You can find me at Corky Cosplays on Instagram, Adam Corky anywhere else. Yeah. And I'll see you next week or the week after. I don't know my posting schedule at this point. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.